The first day of enforcement of Portland's new homeless camping rules seem to lead to more questions.
Unless the shelter and services are in place, where are they going to go?
Plus, how police caught up with a suspected bank robber they say had a knife, but apparently no sense of direction. And later, the local business owner hit hard by a fire and refusing to lose hope.
The community of Portland has their back, and they have our back.
Good evening. We begin at 11 with warm weather in the northwest set to transform into a summer scorcher with triple digits not out of the question as we head toward July 4th and the holiday weekend. Thanks for joining us tonight. David Molko here along with Chief Meteorologist Matt Zafino, who is tracking our very first weather impact alert. Matt?
That's right, David. It's a nice cool night tonight, but the days in question, the days we have called for weather impact alerts are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now, what we're doing on days when the weather is going to be at the very least inconvenient and at the worst dangerous, we will highlight them separate from the blue. We'll make them red to really draw your attention to them. We don't want to alarm anybody, but we want to literally alert you and let you know what's coming, that what is coming is going to be on the unusual side. And that's exactly what is the case for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, all up around, if not over 100 degrees. So this is going to be a long duration heat wave. Really beginning on Thursday with temperatures in the low to mid 90s, so not too terribly bad, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday up around 100, so it will be excessive heat, and that means we've got the potential for dehydration, even heat stroke. So make sure you take extra care to check in on the elderly, your neighbors, your plants, your pets, because humidity will be very low with that heat. Things are going to dry out super quickly. We're already under an excessive heat watch Thursday through Sunday for all of the inland valleys in western Oregon, southwest Washington, down into northern California as well. This will be converted to an excessive heat warning as we get closer to the event itself. So again, a lot going on with this. By far our longest and most severe heat wave of the year so far, our hottest weather really since last August. The other big weather story, Hurricane Beryl, now a Category 5. Latest on that later on. David, back to you.
Thanks, Matt. See you in a few here. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, Portland police say the suspect in last week's deadly shooting at a TriMet Max platform has now turned himself in. 29-year-old Moyassar Osman Muhammad Ahmed is now booked on a second-degree murder charge. He's suspected of killing 39-year-old Sean Smeeden Thursday night at North Interstate and Prescott. In Cowlitz County, the coroner's office is asking for help identifying a man whose body was found in 2021. This is an artist's sketch based on skeletal remains. The coroner's office says it believes the remains belong to a younger white male who was found in a wooded area outside the community of Cougar. Anyone with information is asked to call the number on your screen. That's 360-577-3079. And we're working tonight to figure out why prosecutors have apparently dropped charges, at least for now, against the man who allegedly sparked a free-for-all at a Northwest Portland furniture warehouse. This was Sunday afternoon when someone put a sign outside the building at Northwest 25th and Vaughn that very clearly said free. That came after someone had broken into the building, authorities say, leaving it open, it appears, for others to rummage through.
The boxes were huge. They were like bigger than me. I have no idea that when I walked by, I saw like king-size bed, frames.
This neighborhood's pretty quiet, chill, relaxed. So no, I've never seen this much cops around here in my life.
Well, police tell us the 51-year-old man who was arrested Sunday was initially charged with 5 felonies, including 4 counts of first-degree theft. It's unclear how much furniture was taken. New tonight, a Battleground man has died after a head-on collision. Washington State Patrol say a vehicle driven by 20-year-old Dante Nelson crossed the center line on Highway 503 at around 11:30 Sunday night. Nelson was pronounced dead at the scene. The other driver was injured and taken to the hospital. Caught on camera, you're looking at the end of a police chase in Tigard where the suspect was left quite literally spinning his wheels after he took a turn toward a highway overpass that no longer existed. It turns out some of the moments from that pursuit were also recorded on video, and authorities say it all started with a bank robbery.
Dude, no way. This guy tried to run from the cops.
And maybe the first clue the coast wasn't clear in Tigard Monday afternoon, the big sign saying road closed.
Whoops. Can't go if there's no bridge, dude.
Reese Hendrick, who works nearby,
Wow.
recorded the video.
What a Monday.
He's halfway off of the overpass looking at 217 like, he's Thelma and Louise. It's ridiculous.
Though this surveillance video from his store a few minutes earlier at Hall and 99W
It was insane.
shows what first captured his attention.
And all of a sudden, this car comes into the parking lot, screeching into here, and followed by a police officer.
The dark SUV careens through the parking lot. A police cruiser follows. Then the driver backs up and makes contact.
My first thought was, maybe it was a hit and run gone wrong, maybe it was a stolen car.
Nope, authorities say. It was a bank robber who stole cash at knife point around 12:30 from the Key Bank in West Lynn, trying to make his getaway.
The street is closed because they're doing an overpass restoration.
Traced by a tracker on some of the cash, and who apparently didn't have a good sense of direction.
That's an oopsie.
He didn't know he was about to be taking a Sunday drive off of a off of a ramp.
He jumped out with a backpack, ran down the hill to the highway with about 20 cops with guns pulled, chasing him. They got him down there in the middle of traffic. They also found a big knife that he had with him too.
The 55-year-old now charged with robbery, reckless driving, and eluding a police officer.
Can't go across the freeway with no bridge.
Well, in an update tonight, OHSU says it's announced its second round of layoffs with nearly 300 more jobs that also include nurses. The Oregon Nurses Association confirms those receiving pink slips include 22 nurses in the Connected Care Center and other specialty units. The union criticized the decision, saying this is going to reduce Oregonians' access to care. In a statement, OHSU said its current financial position requires, quote, difficult choices, some of which been, quote, excruciating. This is after it announced it would cut a total of 500 jobs, starting with about 140 in June.
They're an amazing business. They're incredible partners. They just facilitated the dreams that we had.
New at 11, the future of a Portland business is now up in the air after their business partner, a North Portland noodle factory, went up in flames. Alma McCarty's in the newsroom tonight following up on the fallout. Alma?
Well, David, it is hard to forget that smoke filling the sky last Monday as the nearly 100-year-old building burned down. The owner of Umi Organic saw it from 2 streets over and tells me she knew right away Shinshin Foods was on fire.
1 week ago, more than 90 Portland firefighters battled the flames coming from inside Shinshin Foods on North Thompson Street. Called in as a grease fire, officials say it burned for hours, filling the sky with smoke.
It really breaks my heart to see this happen to them.
And filling nearby neighbors and business partners with dread.
I knew, I could just tell where it was. Reached out immediately to our staff and friends there and learned that everyone was safe. But it was already such a big fire.
Lola Milholland owns Umi Organic.
I wanted to start the business to make a noodle from here, sourced from here, that was really for this region.
One of their biggest customers, public school districts across the state.
It's been a wonderful thing to be part of, and it's just going to get better.
And helping Umi Organic achieve that vision, Shinshin Foods.
We were their only organic product. We did all the sourcing, we did the recipe, we did recipe development with them. But they had already the capacity with the machinery that we would never be able to afford.
Following this fire, Lola says their connected futures are uncertain, though there's a real possibility her business could close its doors for good.
It's a possibility. But I guess I'm in the scenario planning phase. I think it's not an inevitability.
Next week, Umi Organic will host an open house, selling what's left of their inventory and donating what remains. Unable to continue making their noodles for the time being, but supporting their partner, Shinshin Foods, however they can.
The community of Portland has their back, and they have our back, so I felt that strongly.
We checked in with Portland Fire and Rescue. Their investigation unit is still working with insurance and working to discover the cause of the fire.
Yeah,
David?
glad to hear a closure is not inevitable. Appreciate the update. Thanks, Alma. We have a little bit of good news this evening. 2 Clackamas County deputies who were shot while responding to a burglary in progress a year ago in June are both now back on patrol. They are deputies Dan Blair and Jeremy McKenna. They were both hit and taken to the hospital. Blair in his arm, McKenna in his ballistic vest and abdomen. A suspect is facing charges that now include attempted murder. Straight ahead on KGW News at 11. It is day one when it comes to Portland's new rules around camping. So why does the mayor's office seem to be backpedaling around enforcement? Plus, Oregon expands who qualifies for Medicaid. Details on the bridge proponents say is all about equity.